Hello and welcome to another episode of the UCLA Bruins Insider Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Connor Moreno, lead writer for UCLA Bruins on SI. And today I think we're just going to go ahead and continue this kind of depth chart roundup series that we started yesterday. Yesterday we started with the wide receivers, and we went through the entire depth chart, kind of who the people are, previewing their upcoming seasons while also talking about their prior seasons. And today I think we're just going to go ahead and continue with the skill groups on offense, and we're going to go ahead and tackle the running backs that are on UCLA's depth chart this upcoming season. Now, much like pretty much every skill position on offense, the running backs are highlighted by a new transfer. So, with the wide receivers, we had like Mikey Matthews. We didn't talk about Caden Robinson, but that's just because that whole thing going on with him off of the field and his waiver kind of being denied, and now there's a lawsuit that I actually wrote about on UCLA Bruins on SI that if you guys want to check out, you can. It's on the website. It came out yesterday or 2 days ago when you're hearing this. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the running backs. Let me bring this on my screen. Perfect. Yeah. So first and foremost, obviously, the projected starting running back is going to be Javion Thomas. He's a junior transfer coming from Cal. And he's likely going to be their starting running back. Last season, he was Cal's leading rusher. He rushed for 626 yards and 7 touchdowns on just 100 carries. The math right there is pretty easy. That is 6.26 yards per attempt. I think he's coming in. He's coming in with some pretty good fire. I think he's bound to have a pretty good season this upcoming year. Why not? Let's go ahead and look at his kind of scouting report from the Bruin Report Online staff. They just talked about how he's solidly built at 5'10", 190 pounds. His nickname is Jet because he's super fast and super explosive. He's good with vision, good awareness, especially being on the smaller side. He's able to find holes and get through them. He's not super shifty, so he's not like an elusive back. He's more of a small, power back, but he's also good at making tacklers miss tackles. And then once there's room in the gap, he's super good, at utilizing that speed and that explosiveness to go ahead and burst up field and get a whole bunch of yards. He was probably, according to the Bruin Report Online staff, he was probably like 180 pounds entering Cal, but now he's up to 190, obviously, as I mentioned earlier. He's going to be, I would assume he's going to be the day one starting running back for UCLA. There's really no question about it, especially after last season. So let's go ahead and move on to the second running back on the depth chart, the projected depth chart, and that's Jalen Berger. He's a redshirt senior. He's returning for his final year of eligibility with the Bruins. Last season he finished with 178 rushing yards on 48 carries. He also had 10 receptions for 59 yards, and he had 2 touchdowns as well. He came into the program after spending time with Wisconsin and Michigan State, so he came in 2023, but in 2023 he went down with an injury. He was hurt for much of the season in 2023. So, but at Michigan State the season prior, he had a really good year, which is why his transfer to UCLA was kind of a pretty good acquisition for the Bruins. It does suck that he got hurt. I think he was primed to have a pretty good season this year, probably as the starting running back, and that was until Javion Thomas came from Cal. By the way, Thomas came from Cal with Mikey Matthews, who is the projected slot receiver for Nico Iamaleava and for the Bruins this season. And so, yeah, I mean, Berger was probably going to be the starting running back until Thomas came in, but I do think he's going to be a very solid backup. Um, Tino Sunseri, he's taking over the offense. Uh, it's going to be, I think the running game is going to be counted on a lot. That's what David Wood said for a Bruin Report Online. It's going to somehow replicate some of Indiana's rushing success. So we'll go ahead and see how Berger does this season. But yeah, projected to be the second string running back. I do think he's going to get a lot of touches, a lot of carries. And that moves us along to Anthony Frias, who is also a redshirt senior. He's another returner. He did play a lot less than Berger did last season. And there's really not much to say about Frias just because with Javion Thomas coming in and just considering the fact that he already played a lot less than Berger last season, and he's already slotted to be the third string running back for the Bruins this season. He's probably not going to get much of an improved role this season, but I do expect him to compete for maybe that high backup role, that third seed that he's currently slotted at right now, or he could get beat out by the next person on this list, which is Anthony Woods. He's a redshirt junior. He's also a transfer. He's coming from Utah, but he didn't play a single snap last season because of an injury. But the season before, with Idaho, he had a very stellar season, which is why he went ahead and moved on to Utah, and it didn't pan out. So the Bruins are getting pretty much a reclamation project in Anthony Woods. In 2023 with Idaho, he rushed for 1,144 yards and 16 touchdowns, and he earned all Big Sky honors. So he is a really, I'd say I hate to use the word reclamation project again, but that's pretty much what he is. I mean, they're taking a flyer on him. Obviously, he was hurt all last season, so maybe he's probably not going to replicate the season that he had in Idaho, but if he can even replicate maybe 75% of that season, he's easily going to be one of the better backs in the running back room. Right now, he's slotted as fourth running back. I would expect him to at least be the third string running back. He could even beat out Jalen Berger, and he could enter that second string to back up Javion Thomas and be, the second half of a really good rushing threat. And I think, we have two more. Next one's going to be Carson Cox. He's an incoming freshman. He is one of UCLA's only 4-star recruits in the 2025 recruiting class. He was slated to make a real impact in his freshman season, but it's kind of unclear now that Thomas came in and Woods came in. So he could even redshirt, maybe. Hopefully he doesn't transfer at the end of the season because he is a really good, highly touted running back. And that moves us along to Isaiah Carlson. He's a redshirt sophomore. He was previously the number 12 prospect out of the state of Washington for the class of 2023. He returns for another season in Westwood, but he's not projected to see much of the field, unfortunately, just with all the talent ahead of him. That was fun. We went ahead and tackled the running backs. Tomorrow we might as well tackle tight ends, maybe quarterbacks, maybe offensive line, and then we'll move on to the defensive side. Maybe we'll tackle corners tomorrow. Unless some breaking news comes up, but we're really not looking forward to any news necessarily until the 20th, which is when Rashawn Duncan is going to make his decision between UCLA, Arizona State, and Washington. I think those were the schools. I could be wrong. I could be off on one of those, but yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to another episode of the UCLA Bruins Insider Podcast. We'll see you tomorrow.